Be inspired, supported, and empowered. This is the Global Healthy Living Foundation podcast network.
I have no problem at all being an amputee. I can walk on hot coals, you can't. I can walk on glass, you can't. My socks never, ever, ever smell. I can wear one pair of socks for an entire year.
Welcome to Thriving While Aching, a podcast that inspires and teaches you how to live a fuller life while safely managing pain. I'm Dr. Laurie Ferguson, Director of Education at the Global Healthy Living Foundation. Paula finds such humor and grace being not just an amputee, but a double below-the-knee amputee. Due to the progression of Gaucher's disease, doctors amputated her right leg in 2001 and left leg in 2009. But amazingly, Paula found joy and a sense of community in running. She started out as a race walker and then worked her way up to running road races where she lived in Virginia. Speed doesn't matter, it's the journey. Let's hear how Paula turned to running, how she manages her pain, and how she's thriving while aching. Paula, I'm so delighted to meet you and be able to have this conversation. You got into sports later in life. Tell us how you became an athlete.
Certainly not as a child or anything like that. I mean, other than normal. When I was a kid, we went out and played. We didn't have electronics. So I think I really started getting into athletics probably in my 40s. I was an avid cyclist. I mean, I loved it. I was a road cyclist. And my average drive was 25 or better miles a day.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And then I became an amputee. When I was a single amputee, it was fine. But now as a double, it's not a safe thing to do. I don't have the ability to dismount and grip. So I did nothing. And then I got into running.
Paula started to dabble in running about 2017. By the next year, at 69 years young, she was enamored.
I was challenged. I had become overweight. I was taking an exercise class, and another woman in the class suggested that I do what is known as the turkey trots. So I said, sure. I had never, ever done anything like that before. A 10K is 6.2 miles, but it does have some hills. And I was darned I was going to finish that race. And then in August of that year, I found an evening race in my area. And that's when the bug really hit me. So at first I was just doing them for, hey, this is fun, I enjoy it. And then the competitive nature in me came out.
When Paula first got into running, she wasn't equipped with what's known as runner's blades. Those are prostheses that share some similarities with biological legs. So she started out by race walking.
I think everybody can find something that they like to do exercise-wise. I don't think you should be trapped into doing something because your friends are doing it or it's the cool thing to do. It was just the thing for me.
While the pandemic has made so many of us alter our exercise routines, Paula didn't quit, even if she couldn't physically attend races in person.
Last year, even in the pandemic, I completed 68 virtual races, which is about as much fun as running with cardboard people. But my race miles were about 225 miles, not counting my training miles. And in late 2019, I got my first real running blades.
And the runner's blades have made a huge difference when she runs.
I don't know how to describe euphoria. It's such a liberating feeling for me. I get up on my blades and I just feel like I can fly. It's really hard for somebody who's not an amputee to fully understand the dynamics of just running as an amputee anyway. It's almost somewhat like you feel like you're floating.
Of course, even for someone who's a double amputee, staying active is key to a healthy life.
My name is Kathleen Cameron, and my title is Senior Director for the Center for Healthy Aging at the National Council on Aging.
Kathleen knows that if you suffer from pain, it's important to seek help from professionals to manage that pain while doing physical activities.
Physical therapists are really key in managing pain for many older adults. And their mantra is that the more you move, the better your health. And I couldn't agree more. You know, physical therapists are movement experts, and they treat people of all ages and all abilities. They are licensed healthcare providers who maximize their patients' abilities. And they manage pain, they help people manage chronic conditions, and help them with everyday function and fitness. And they can help people identify, what's appropriate for physical activity so that we're not pushing our bodies too much, that we're doing the right types and intensity of physical activity. Also, they can help avoid injuries, further injuries, new injuries, etc.
So, Paula, you express such joy, but you have to experience pain, right?
There is pain. It can get uncomfortable. I don't think you should exercise in any way, shape, or form if your body is really telling you, hey, you're in pain. Okay, this is real pain. Your body is signaling you and saying something is not right, and you need to step back and say, what's going on? Then there's working through discomfort, and my discomfort level is going to be completely different than somebody else's. And you have to get to know your body.
Kathleen Cameron agrees. And when you get to know your body, you then need to listen to it.
If we are in pain, something is not right. And we need to stop or modify what we are doing because that's contributing to the pain. And that's a big red flag. Some exercises or certain types of physical activities that we were once able to do when we were younger may present a problem as we get older. Of course, if the pain is really severe, it's important to seek medical care. And in some cases, you may be sore for a few days after a heavy workout, especially if it's like a new type of activity or if you've really upped your intensity. So it's important first to kind of rest and recover. And you might need to apply heat, and heat can help in the healing process.
Now, we all have those moments when we aren't motivated to exercise. But for Paula, her motivation is the sense of community she gets from running.
I'm in a running training group twice a week now. And I had a really lovely chat with one of the other women in the group. And I had to come to the realization that, why am I not motivated? What is my biggest fear of something? And I realized it was because I had lost my competitive edge, because I wasn't doing the time that I was normally used to doing. I am not fast, but now I'm like super slow. Once I decided, okay, that was just not a good process, I realized I can get back out. And I also realized that just being amongst other people is a push to start. So the biggest thing, no matter what you do exercise-wise, in your house, outside, doesn't matter. It's a virtual statement, so to speak, but it's getting out the door. Once you pick up the video or whatever it may be that you're doing, you're at least there, you're motivated, and hopefully you're not going to say, oh, I can't do this, I'm going to quit.
The key, Paula says, is to get to know yourself and to have an inner script and a routine that encourages you to exercise.
I run with music. I sort of know approximately how long a song will be. And so I kind of judge myself, all right, you've made it through 4 songs, 5 songs. You're on your way already. There's all sorts of psychological games you can play on yourself. You feed off of people. They may pass you, you may pass them. If I see somebody struggling in a race, whether it's another adult or a child, I will cheer them on while I'm going by them. Especially if it's a young kid or something, I'll tell them, come on, you gotta beat me in, you gotta cheer me in. A lot of the races, people have come to know me as well. Mm-hmm. I do tend to stand out in a small crowd.
By now, you know Paula is motivated and competitive, but more than anything, she makes community better and stronger. Paula, what advice would you give folks who are struggling to find new passion in life?
We all have sort of our weird claims to fame. I was actually at Woodstock. I have no intention, if they put it on today, to drive up and do Woodstock. So you have to look at things sometimes and say, okay, what is reality? Find another love, find another passion. Why say, oh, I can't do that, and then there's nothing else for me? We all go through those times. Find something that gives you passion.
Paula, that is amazing. You have such a zest for life. You're a life force. How do you keep that nourished in yourself?
I believe in having quiet time for yourself. I definitely believe being around people. I mean, I'm the quintessential extrovert who married the absolute introvert. I have no problem getting in my car and saying, let's go for a ride. I think that's what keeps me pushing and moving.
One thing Paula wants to teach others is that you're never too old to start something new.
I personally think getting old is fabulous. Great thing about getting old, if you're running, is you limit the field because most races will always give to the top male and female. I will never be there. But then a lot of races will do age categories. Well, when you get into my age group, there are times that I've actually placed first, second, or third. It's great. Sometimes I'm the only person in my age group. I'm like, I take first. Doesn't matter if I'm the only one. I showed up.
Paula embraces this positive outlook on life.
I love being an amputee. I'm a very proud amputee, not prideful, but very proud. I'll celebrate 19 years as a single amputee. My anniversary date is September 11, 2002. I had a lot of surgery leading up to it, so it wasn't some sort of rash decision. Of course, you can't look back. I wear skirts, shorts, dresses. I have no problem at all being an amputee. I think it's super great, actually. There are benefits of being amputee.
So what's the benefit?
I can walk on hot coals, you can't. I can walk on glass, you can't. My socks never, ever, ever smell. I can wear one pair of socks for an entire year. I'm good to go. I get to change my legs about every 2.5, 3 years. If my legs bother me, I just take them off. There are great benefits.
What advice do you have for people?
Believe in yourself. I don't care if you're 10 or 90. Go out and try something. Find like-minded people. Have joy in your life. Do something goofy every day and forgive yourself.
We hope you found this episode and our series inspiring. We'd love to know how you are thriving while aching. Send us an email, a short video, or audio clip. Tell us your secret to aging gracefully so we can share it with others in our community. Send it to thriving@ghlf.org. Thanks for joining us for Thriving While Aching, a podcast that inspires and teaches you how to live a fuller life while safely managing pain. If you liked this episode, give us a 5-star rating and write a positive review on Apple Podcasts. It'll help more people like you find us. I'm Dr. Laurie Ferguson. Take care.
Be inspired, supported, and empowered. This is the Global Healthy Living Foundation podcast network. This podcast is made possible with support from Johnson & Johnson Consumer Health, sponsor of the Global Healthy Living Foundation.